Okay, so we're doing something a little different today. Welcome to color. And surprisingly, this is very close to what I see when I partake in mushrooms. I mean, I don't see it on the side of a old building, but I see like the bright colors and the vibrant dark colors, and then the contrasting colors, and how everything kind of mends in together and becomes this beautiful tapestry. It's really cool. There's a little festival going on at a park not too far from here that I thought I would go check out as part of my morning ride. And as most of you have figured out, I have not been posting recently because I have not been riding recently. Funny how that worked. So I've been extremely busy these last couple of weeks, or this last week. Every morning, I've had appointments, 9, 10, 11, whatever. I just did not have time to go for a ride. I got a couple of afternoon rides in, but not even as many of those as I wanted because a couple of days afternoon storms came through. And I didn't want to get caught out in the middle of nowhere, with rain. And then one day it was just so windy. I was like, I'm going to do laundry instead of trying to fight the wind. So, here we are. My first ride in probably 3 or 4 days. This is North Denver, the Swansea neighborhood, I think it's called. Nice little neighborhood. It is primarily Hispanic, I believe, which is perfectly fine. And I did have an issue with where I'm staying. I got a letter on my door yesterday. That was kind of annoying. So I open it up and it says, "Hey, we did a random inspection of your apartment, and we found that you left a hot plate plugged in." And then they left me some kind of thing that says, I'm not allowed to have hot plates plugged in unattended. That no open flames, etc. And I was like, this is really weird, because while I do use a hot plate, because I like the way it cooks better than the electric griddle that they have, the hot plate in itself is, this is cool. I've never seen this before. This kind of like walking path thing over the highway, I guess. We're going to check it out because it's all about exploring. My hot plate is an induction cooktop. That's all it is. So even if it is plugged in, there's no way in heck it can have an open flame. There's just no way. It is impossible. So they left me a thing saying that having a hot plate plugged in is a violation because they do not allow open flames at all. And I'm like, well, first of all, there's no open flames because it is an induction cooktop. Second of all, it can't even be hot unless there is metal touching it. Third of all, even if it is hot, it's still not going to burst anything into flames because it just doesn't get that hot. So the whole thing was annoying. I was mad. I was super mad. I'm actually thinking about moving out and just sleeping in my car at the end of the month when my because I'm paying a month-to-month rental. When my month-to-month is out at the end of the month, I'm actually seriously considering moving out. This time of year, it's not too hot and it's not too cold. There's a Purina plant. Sadly, we can smell this quite a bit up here. This is kind of cool. It's fun too. It's colorful. And it just goes over the railroad tracks, not the interstate. And apparently there's a little skate park below it too. That's kind of interesting. I mean, I love things like this. I love when cities and towns and counties go out of their way to make life easier for residents and to make the quality of life higher. But I need to find Clayton Street. So I need a road sign here. This is 47th. So yeah, Swansea. If you can tell by the sign there next to the garbage can, that is overflowing. So I go to Clayton, wherever Clayton is. That was York. And then I go south. So this is the part that I have not been through before, but now that I have come through here, I might come through here again. Yeah, I like little neighborhoods like this. Yeah, actually, I also went, speaking of giant trucks, I went and test drove a truck yesterday too. Price is right. It's a little high on mileage. It's 7 years old and it has 165,000 miles on it. So we're talking 23,000 miles a year. So it's a little high, but it is an engine that is, is expected to get about 500,000 miles off of it. Now keep in mind, I've owned my truck for 25 years and I have 300,000 miles on it, and I bought it with about 65,000 miles. So it takes a while to get to 100,000 or 200,000 or 400,000 or whatever. So I think if I bought it, because like I said, the price is right. Oh, here's Clayton. If I bought it, I would have a 20-year newer vehicle, a lot more power, same gas mileage. It's still a V8, but I'd have a truck that would last me another 20 years, presumably, minus any wrecks or accidents or anything. All right, we're going uphill a little bit. I'm in pedal assist 1. Oh, wow, that person, these people take care of their lawns. Dang. Like they're like, yeah, we want nice looking lawns. There's a vehicle coming up behind me, but so now we're looking for the park where this festival is supposed to be taking place. It could be this park, but I don't see any festivals. And it's supposed to be like a Hispanic Latin festival. So yeah. Oh wow, little tiny homes. Yeah, speaking of tiny homes, I can't remember if I spoke about this on video yet, because I am looking for a place to live, full-time residence. And I called a place. It was, oh, here's the festival. Okay. I called a place, and probably gonna have to get off and walk. I don't want to ride the bicycle through. Oops. How's it going? How's it going? I'm doing okay. But yeah, I called on a place that had a for rent sign out front, and the guy's like, yeah, it's 800 square feet. Okay, I've looked at apartments bigger than that. And he goes, there's no garage. How you doing? I'm doing okay.
Would you like to venerate your ancestors?
Oh.
Offering an ancestor energy to your life. It doesn't cost anything, but if you want to give a shout out to the people who came before you.
Oh, just giving a shout out? Okay, I thought you were doing like an ancestry type thing.
No, not like that.
Oh.
So these
I was like, yeah.
honoring our ancestors or putting anyone who's passed that we want to honor on these, and that's from their flowers to someone that's alive that you want to honor, that you're just like, this is a great person, send them out to do a positive tree. And then we'll add it to the tree.
I live 2,000 miles.
Chosen tree. That's it. You can put anyone you actually like on here. You're like, it's me. Hey, they're really small papers.
That's a badass mic you got.
Yeah.
You got a camera set up too, like kind of like a desk?
Yeah, so when I bought the e-bike, I started recording my bike rides.
Nice.
It's kind of like a vlog thing.
Yeah.
So I just kind of talk stream consciousness and try to explore Denver a little bit.
That's a really cool way to see it.
Across the world to see things like not just the
actually live
touristy
here.
stuff, but like the actual Denver.
Very
That's
cool.
a great way to do it. The bike community out here is killer.
Do I have to put a name or can I just put like two
You can just put two of your ancestors. If you just want to send that energy out to all who come before you. I love that you're raising your baby Montessori. That's like my favorite version. Parenting mythology or whatever. I don't know what it's called. Method.
They get little kids. Their dishes and stuff.
Oh no! If you take anything away, so you're not
No. You said you can stick it anywhere you like. And I'm like, and then you followed it up with on the tree. I was like, okay.
Okay. Yeah, don't stick it to me. Then we gotta be.
But yeah, I heard about this little festival and I wanted to come over and check out.
Yeah.
So is this the first annual or is this
Second, yeah. The first one we did was over by Johnson Rec Center, so in the Groveville part of the GES neighborhood. And I think we're
Yeah, I think this is one.
yeah. But we have
Sorry, I'm assuming kids by your height. You might be not.
different modalities. There's, back there they're doing after detox, so that's going to be 5 points in a year. Something like wellness. Someone's offering some massages. Folks are doing.
You can just say my ancestors.
Some there, some clothes, and then lots of good
Their
messages.
names, anyone in your life that you may have. That's okay. You can just say my ancestors. We also have some people who are alive, the flowers.
I know the blue one, yeah.
Had a lot of like tie-in.
Yeah. So we're
I wasn't sure if this was an American thing.
it's a combo. So we're Aztec is usually what's considered as kind of like the Muslim name, but that's we're an indigenous dance group.
Okay.
So we practice in the GES neighborhood.
I think it's some powwow and stuff.
Yeah. So that's like very northern tradition. So we practice like southern tradition from Mexico and things like that, but also have like some and things like that as well. So they're working on the flowers for the format. So they're doing an image of rabbit being on fire out of flowers, and then from 2 to 4. Yeah, so we invited a lot of different people from Mexico. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, going to check out the
Your life audience. So we're gonna use that as a celebration to bring our ancestors forward.
Yeah.
Oops. How's it going? So yeah, I know the camera stayed fairly still, but you probably heard some of that conversation. This is about southern like Mexico, southern North America, indigenous. I'm behind everybody now, so I don't feel bad about writing. Southern indigenous culture. So southern Mexico, southern Central America, and they're going to be doing dancing and stuff later, which is really cool. So yeah, problem is I don't know if I'm going to make it back around from 2 to 4 for the dancing. There were so many different festivals like this going on this week, or going on today, I should say, that I wanted to try and hit a couple of them. This one just happened to be the one that started the earliest, and it was the closest. There's another one. How you doing? There's another one that starts at 3 p.m. It's a motorcycle shop is having a little end of season, because, you know, Colorado, we do have motorcycle season.
Sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. I don't know why she was saying sorry. She wasn't in my way, but, you know, I guess just trying to be polite. Yeah, this is really cool.
We're talking about traditional names.
Air quality data, the greenhouse connection, Parks and Rec. Let's go down here and see what we got. How's it going?
How's it going?
Oops. I cannot read that.
What are you doing over here?
Some art. Some jewelry. How you doing? I'm okay. So yeah. And I guess this is the second annual, which is cool. How's it going?
Good. We run the Global Center over in Globeville. We have fall festival flyers. We're going to the fall festival.
Okay. Yeah, the building I live in has those in the lobby right
Oh,
now.
sweet. Perfect.
So.
And then she has a,
Nice e-bike.
Thanks.
she does transit passes for if you live in
What
Globeville.
building do you live in?
I live in the Renewal Village.
Okay.
Do you know where that is?
Is it in Globeville?
Not technically. It's just on the other side of I-25.
Okay. What's your zip code?
I don't know, 80-something 26.
216?
Yeah.
You live on the other side of 25?
Yeah.
You have to live in Globeville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But you're good, but come to the fall fest. It'll be fun. Lots of free stuff to do.
Yes.
cool. Thanks.
Nice to meet you.
Free bike repair.
We run the Global Rec Center over in Globeville.
Well, those people aren't. They're not there right now. Also, I get some free bike repair. All right. Well, that was all of it. So. And then there's people doing this smoke thing. I don't know what that's about. What's this thing? Okay. I thought you were with them.
I am, but I'm not sure what
Okay.
it is.
I didn't know if it was like the incense or sage, or if it was because I know like Catholic ceremonies sometimes use a thing like that.
Yeah, it's the incense. Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
That's a big one.
It is. It's heavy, but I needed power to push all this around. So.
How many miles you get off that charge?
This is the smaller battery. I bought it with the smaller battery because it's quicker to charge. It charges in like 5 hours, but I get about 60 miles off of it.
60. That's
Yeah.
pretty good.
With a bigger battery, I could go a little further, but I'm also a
And it
bigger.
would always fit the larger battery would fit in there.
Yeah, supposedly.
Air bike?
AIPAS, AIPAS.
Oh,
It's about $1,000.
that's it, huh?
$950.
Wow.
And it came with this upgrade. It came with an upgraded light. And I think they said the fenders were a free gift as well.
Oh, yeah.
You know, but whether or not they're a free gift or par
Yeah,
for
they've
course,
already-
yeah, I don't know. But it
Nice
works.
Bike. I like it's a Springer.
Yeah, but I wanted the big tires because they can handle sand and snow,
Ah,
and they absorb a lot of the imperfections in the sidewalks and the
Right.
roads and stuff. It has suspension, but it's a very
oh, it's even got
inexpensive suspension, but it does help.
I mean, you know, if you got a bad back like me, every little bit of suspension you can get.
Dude, I have a bad everything.
Yeah.
So that's why I have to move. If I don't move, it hurts more.
Yeah, well, I mean, riding is my best activity now.
Yeah, so I try to get in like 20 miles on a ride, and so I get about 3 days out of it before I have to recharge it.
And they still suggest that you run the battery down before you start charging it. Or have you ever heard that?
I know they used to with nickel cadmium batteries, but with the lithium ion, which is most modern batteries,
Oh, really?
you're not supposed to run it down all the way to empty. Like your cell phone, or if you have a lithium ion car battery, which most people in Colorado don't because they don't handle cold too well. But like a lot of lithium ion, you're supposed to keep it at like 80% is the sweet spot.
Oh.
Just
okay.
like your car has a
Yeah,
sweet
I
spot
can-
for speed and RPMs, yeah.
Right, okay.
So, yeah, so I, it has 5 battery light indicators here. I let it get down to like the last 2 and then I charge it.
Gotcha.
But that gets me, like I said, about 60 miles.
Yeah. Those back wheels are really, tires are really hard to patch because of the weight of the motor back there.
Yeah.
And,
But it's a big motor too. I wanted
it
one.
is, I noticed that.
Yeah, it's 1,500 watts. And I think the manual said it's 110 nanometers of torque. Or newton meters of torque, something, whatever that.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So, because again, I'm not a small person. You're not a small person. I felt I needed the extra oomph. But climbing hills, going across dirt, you know, obviously the trails are really easy.
Yeah.
The brakes are terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because this is an
Hydraulic or-
80-pound bike.
They're cable
Yeah.
brakes, but
Yeah.
they are disc at least.
Yeah, but they do take a minute to stop, so you have to be aware of, you know, traffic around you. 'Cause
Right.
if you try to stop too fast, you're just not going to. Because like I said, it's an 80-pound bike plus my weight. It's got some
Big,
momentum.
Yeah, I do a few things with bikes around. I got the little.
Is that your stand over there?
Yeah,
Oh,
my other guys didn't show up, but it looks like the parks guys took down my flyers over this last week, so I might not get much customers at all. But
because yeah, I just had to. Apparently I rattled some bolts off, so I had to zip tie this morning to keep it from rattling.
yeah.
I was like, because I walked by over there and I was like, I wonder if he's got little bolts. And then nobody was
There
over
might
there.
be some over there,
If not, I just need to take another one off, go to Home Depot or something and find one.
I can look. You gonna be here for a little while?
I was actually just on my way out. I went around once.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, and I was like, all right, well, let me get on my. So I'm only 3 miles into my 20-mile ride.
Oh, I gotcha. Well, if you come back by, you live around here.
Just north of Globeville.
Oh, okay.
So, or I guess just west of Globeville. Like I-25 and Wheeling? No, not Wheeling. What's that road called? I just moved there. I don't remember everything. Like I had to look up the address to change it in Amazon to order something earlier today.
Shafford Park or something? Is that what they call it Shafford Park?
No.
Sunnyside?
It's over by the train yard over there.
Yeah, okay.
Like Pat.
On the opposite side.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I know the area.
So, but it's
You're on
on.
the north side.
Yeah.
All right, I'm
So,
Chad.
Chad,
Yeah.
Jason.
Jason?
Jason, yep.
Good to make your acquaintance.
Yeah, it's a pleasure.
Talk to
I
you
hope
later,
this works out too. Yeah, if I swing back by this way, I'll swing back by.
Okay.
Yeah. But I was just talking because I'm recording. I was just talking. I was like, yeah, there's like so many of these festivals going on today
Oh, really?
that I wanted to try and hit like 2 or 3. Because one later, it doesn't start till 3, but it's a motorcycle one, and I have a motorcycle. So, like one of the shops is having an end of season party.
Oh, really? Where's
Yeah.
that one at?
Motorado. It's over off of I want to say 6th and
European
Wadsworth-ish.
bikes or what?
No, it's a reseller. So like a used car lot, it's a used motorcycle lot.
Oh,
So they don't get new ones in; they just buy old ones and resell them.
okay.
But it's relatively close. And then there was an art festival or something going on this afternoon too that I wanted to try and get to. But I was told that they would start the dancing and stuff around 2, so I do want to come back by here if I can. I might take the bike home and drive back so I can then leave and get to some of these other festivals, but I would like to see the dancing.
Well, I'll see you around. We live around here.
Okay.
We gotta work out
Yeah,
my
my first
stuff.
time being over here in this area, and I was like, wow, this is a cute little neighborhood.
You guys have
Oh, the Globe Fest?
yeah.
Globeville Flaw Fest.
Yeah, that's
They got them in the lobby of my building.
Oh, okay, good.
So
All right, pal. We'll talk to you more later.
yeah, have a good one.
Okay, well.
Oh, my legs were not ready for that. And I wasn't ready for that either. Whew. All right. So as you can see, everybody's super nice. That's why I love, oops. Sorry, I'm trying to readjust this. That's why I love the Latin community. They're always so nice. They're always such nice people. Whew. And it looks like the train's coming up there. So, and I did see somebody, there's a bus over there. Beige bus, we rode by it a minute ago. But it had looked like it was a schoolie conversion, which is cool. Don't have a problem with it. I wanted to do it myself. I just didn't have anywhere to park a bus for 4, 5, 6 months while I repair it or conversion it. Some, let's see. Anybody behind me? Nope. Check this out. Some payphones. You don't see a lot of those anymore, and I don't think those are working, but they're there. All right, so we're just going south now until I see something familiar. Because again, I've never been in this area at all. I don't even know if I've ever driven through here, like trying to get around a block or something. But that's why we do this. It's all about exploration. Here's the train tracks that we just saw. Whew. Oh yeah, I know where I'm at. Okay. Because this building over here, it's got fences around it, but it's an empty building. It's missing walls. It's missing windshields. But it, oh, interesting. Right here is interesting. I'm not saying this is a great van life area if you're ever in town and you need a place to park. But it does look like there's plenty of parking on the side of the street here if you need a place to park for a night or two or whatever. Hey puppy, what's up? But like I always tell van lifers and car lifers and schoolie lifers, you know, don't become that person that annoys everybody. Like I've seen it happen numerous times where van lifers or people who are forced in their cars because of the economy or whatever, they start hanging out in parking lots. And then they start leaving garbage in the parking lots, and they start looking like they're homeless in the parking lots. This is the building I was talking about. Yeah, I thought it would be cool to come over and explore this one day, but as you can see, they got the fences and the construction people are here right now, so I'm not going to go in, but it seems like, and there's a camera right there too, but it seemed like the kind of place that'd be cool to come and do a photo shoot or something at, because it's got that real rundown urban appeal. And that mailbox said F Trump, which cannot agree more. But yeah. But if you can see this building off to the side, you can see like all the graffiti and stuff. Here's another entrance. Again, it's probably only open for the construction crews right now. Yeah, camera. I can only imagine. I don't know why the cameras are here, because it's obviously nobody cares about this building. So unless the cameras are here to like protect the owners in case somebody comes here and does something, and then tries to sue the property for because this is America. If I go somewhere, or if somebody goes somewhere and breaks a leg, then they sue the property owner for allowing them to break their leg. It is the dumbest thing in the world, but it is America. And yeah, courts have allowed that to happen. Courts have even come up with de facto rules to not encourage it, but not to discourage it. Like, there's a legitimate thing. If I'm going up stairs and the stairs break and I slip and fall and break a leg or hip or, you know, whatever, that's legitimate. You know, if I'm in a mall and the mall, you know, one of the food court places catches on fire. Okay, so we're back at York, and I know where York is, and then we go south. Actually, we're going to go through these York Street yards here. We're going to go explore those too. I found those for the first time a couple months ago, like literally the end of July, and we are at 20th of September, 19. You can tell how old I'm getting, 2025. But yeah, we'll go explore those a little bit. See if this truck's turning, because people in Colorado do not use blink. See, he waited until he was up there to turn his blinker on. People in Colorado do not use their blinkers. And blinkers are a huge pet peeve of mine. But yeah, I was up in this area, North York Street here, back in July. There's a VA office over here. I had to go sign some paperwork at. And while I was waiting for my appointment, I kind of explored these York Street yards. I'm guessing they're on like old train yards or something. Let's go this way. I don't know why it's called the yards, unless it's like old train yards or shipping yards or something. But it's a really cool area. Like, it's like one of those up and coming, urban, kitschy, you know, kind of guys with ponytails and goatees wearing bright colored, you know, flannel type places. You know, it's got a bunch of small little businesses. I think I saw when I walked around here, it had, oh man, is there no way across? That's going to be annoying. If I don't find a way across, I have to turn back around. It just had a bunch of little things. And is this a pick and pull yard? Hey puppy, what's up? Looks like a junkyard or something. Warning, guard dogs. There's obviously a power station. But yeah, a bunch of little businesses over here. I say little, but like marketing companies, and I think there's a couple breweries and things like that. I'm surprised there was no way from this trail from here to there. I am actually really surprised. But yeah, like is that a dispensary? But it's Denver. I mean, there's a dispensary everywhere. Elemental Bakery and Coffee House. I think Rivian has their repair facility over here. There's a dog bar, and what I mean by that is it is a bar that has a wide open area, so you bring your dog, you have a couple drinks, maybe have some food, and your dog can run around with other dogs in the open area. Oh, that's a cool art installation. Trail goes that way, but not that way. That's kind of annoying. So, yeah, and then a bunch of, yeah, see, we're coming up on the Rivian stuff. You're going to see that here in a second if I can get across. It is, I'm really shocked there's not just a little bridge that goes across here. I'm really, really shocked. Huh. So much for turning this way and thinking this was just going to get me away from the road faster. But yeah, looks like maybe there's a path up here. It is kind of disconcerting to see, because this is a Rivian warranty center or a Rivian repair center. It is a little disconcerting to see all the Rivian's here. I was kind of hoping this was a bridge. Okay. Somewhat of a bridge. Yeah, we're gonna go over here and explore this real quick too, since we're over here. Again, it's all about exploration. I love these little parks that use the natural landscape. Now, they probably brought these boulders in, but still, it's really cool. So yeah, look at this art installation. How's it going? Yeah, let me see, can I get across the street? Is anybody coming? Nope. Okay, cool. So I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna turn around and so you can see this like entryway. It's a nice paved street too. Like it's either a new street or they recently came in and paved it. But you can see the Rhino District straight ahead. But you see this like metal that's bent to look like a ribbon over as the like entry arch. That's kind of cool. Denver Human Services Center, okay. And then you got a school over here, okay. Yeah, that's kind of cool. And then you can see all the Rivians to my left. Rivian Mobile Services, I'm guessing for Rivians that break. I've only met one person that actually had a Rivian, and he said he loved it. He said he loved it so much. Him and his wife both had Teslas. Yeah, Rivian Service Center. And you can see the Rivian name on the building there. He said him and his wife both had Teslas, and he got rid of his Tesla because he hated it. He thought it was junky, which is on par with what my brother said. My brother had a Tesla, and he said it was for $100,000. He had the Model X. He said for $100,000 car, it was junky. So yeah, so he bought a Rivian, loved it so much that his wife is now wanting a Rivian. Yeah, see there's some businesses here. I don't know what that looks like. A gym, okay. River Bear, whatever that is. City Lax, don't know what that is either. Valmont, don't know what that is. Azak, I don't know what that is. But yeah, just like, I mean, that looks like some kind of motor or wheel thing or something. But it looks pretty empty in the building, so I don't know. But yeah, just stuff like that. Auto store, whatever that is. Cloven Twine, don't know what that is. This is that Skip Town. This is that dog place I was telling about. So Denver, or dog park and bar. You go in, you know, it's got the inside restaurant here. But then all of this, hey puppy, what's up? And then all this over here is just the open dog area off to the left. So the dogs can be off leash and they run around and they have fun. Yeah. And then there's something called VCA back there. I don't think it's the animal clinic, because there is a VCA animal clinic, I think. And then there's this, whatever this is, the world is ours. I think it's a bar or something. Rand. Oh, I don't think I'm gonna make this turn. I'm definitely not gonna make this turn. Bike's just too big. Oh. Yeah, we'll go up over here real quick. You can hear, well, I don't know if you can hear the dogs, but I can hear the dogs barking around over there. But you can see the dog paintings on the wall there, because it is a dog area. And it looks like maybe the dogs are allowed on this turf out here too. So yeah, that's the dog area right here behind this fence. I'm not gonna ride on the turf area, I'm just turning around. Yeah. Yeah, like I said, it's a cool little area. I mean, if I ever got a dog, I'd definitely come up here at least once or twice a month just for giggles. Yeah, I think this is a bar. I never went in it, but it looks like a bar. Plenty of parking. Got the dog area over there. Oops, or maybe it's not open yet. Oops, or maybe they're remodeling. Excuse me, fellas. Golf lounge and bar. I don't know what a golf lounge is. Gray Solutions, whatever that is. Carman Plus, don't know what that is. Adult and Crafts, Craft Club, cool. And then this is a brewery. I told you there were breweries over here. Cohesion Brewery. Ooh, smells like brewery. And then Rad Power Bikes. I actually came over here to check out some of their bikes before I bought this. But they were closed the day that I came by because apparently they're not open on whatever day I came by. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm getting a different bike. And then Beat the Bomb. I'm guessing that's kind of like an escape room. Then you got Cocapelli and Rover, whatever. I mean, I know what Cocapelli is, but I don't know what it is that business is. Rover sounds, yeah, I don't know what that is either. That could be anything. Rand Construction, I see their trucks around all the time. Yeah, so this is it. Like I said, it's a cool little area. I think this used to be because the trains are nearby. I think this used to be like shipping and receiving warehousey stuff for a lot of companies. Let's see. Yeah, there's Yellow Dog next to VCA. Yellow Dog is I don't know if they still actually publish an actual physical magazine, but it used to be like a VCA Consultants, whatever that is. Design, print, marketing. They used to print an upscale Denver magazine, like nice restaurants, nice hotels, nice shopping. Places for people with a lot more money than I have to, enjoy themselves when they come to Denver, and for Denverites to get out and, spend their money at high-end places instead of, consumer-grade places. What's up, puppy? So yeah, and you can see it's like wide open. There's plenty of room for everybody. I kind of want to put like a motorcycle lounge right on the corner there, so people can just come and motorcycle themed bar or a restaurant right there. That'd be fun. So yeah. And when we get up here to the grassy area, if you can see that far ahead, I'm not sure if that camera's picking it up well. Stick and Feather Golf Lounge and Bar. There's not a golf course near here, so I don't know why there needs to be a golf lounge and bar. But maybe that's why there needs to be a golf lounge and bar. Maybe it's because there's no golf courses around. But I'm going to readjust this camera because it keeps moving. Okay, so I just saw the style of bike there, and it's very similar to this one, but I saw a guy in my building with one earlier. That looks like a hairstyling place. And then I don't know what these buildings are. But this one over here, if you can see the tower, right past the tower, there's like a lookout station for some reason. Let me just readjust that. So I can lock it in a little tighter. There we go. Yeah, so Denver Food Rescue, okay. Not sure what that means. Is it one of those places that like goes to stores and restaurants and takes the donation of food that they're not going to be able to use before it goes bad, and then they distribute it to needy or homeless? Because that would be cool. And like I said, there's a VA building over here that I had to come sign some paperwork at once. And I don't know where all these people are going. And motorcycle, Triumph. Let's just stay on the sidewalk. I don't see a dedicated bike path. Oh, some apartments though over here. Let's go check them out. Without getting run over by that bus or those cars. I mean, that's a Jeep. It's not like it's gonna hurt. That bus would have hurt. Oh, so these are townhouses. I don't know if those are apartments or not. A lot of times apartments have balconies or something, but these are what I saw, and I was like, oh. I'm just looking for like a quiet neighborhood. Because I went and looked at some places, and I'm not against children or anything. I am, however, I don't want a lot of road noise. How's it going? Hey, puppy. I don't want a lot of road noise or anything like that. And you can tell, like, there's no HOA here. You got different sizes and styles of houses. You got different yards, different fences and everything. This is the kind of neighborhood that has character, and I love it. And you get out into the suburbs, are all HOAs, all the houses are the same floor plan, just different colors. They all have the one tree in the front yard as a quote-unquote shade tree. 3801 Race Street. So I'm assuming they're not racing here. I don't know if this building is off to my left, the black and white building. But yeah, again, we're just exploring. And there's some Rhino buildings in front of us there. The tall buildings there, that's River North, Rhino. So like this kind of little apartment thing here, I could do that. I think I would want a little bit more space, but this seems really quiet. Beware of zombies. Huh, it's funny. But I don't see any for rent signs. What's here? Yeah, same thing. I mean, these could be condos for all I know. Yeah, they all seem to have their own addresses, so they're probably condos. Which is a shame, because it seems very quiet here. Now again, I don't know what it's like during the week. Maybe a lot of trucks come down these roads or something and make a lot of noise. But right now, it's super quiet, and I appreciate that. Let's see. We may come back and go south there because there's the bicycle lane. Oh, there's actually a tree house in this yard. How often do you see that in modern America? And here's an old mansion off to the right-hand side. It looks like it was cut into apartments. I don't see any for rent signs. I actually met a guy years ago who, and when I say years ago, I mean like early 2000s, who said that he moved to Denver, he worked in IT or whatever, and yeah, now we're getting into a more expensive area. You can see the nicer buildings, the newer stuff. Oh, what's this going straight ahead? This is so cool. I've never been over here at all. But he said he was able to buy a little house or one of those old mansions like in the late 90s when Denver was still very cheap, and he was able to convert it into 3 or 4 apartments, and that's where he made most of his money. So everything else was just profit for rent. Oh, okay, I was thinking that maybe it was one of these, but it's not. And she was asking that dude if he'd heard about that Jimmy Kimmel thing. But yeah, seems like it'd be nice and quiet around here. And it's a fun little neighborhood, really close to downtown, but without all the traffic and noise. I could live over here. Industry, I think that's what that said. Yeah. Now that with that couple were talking, I don't know if they knew each other or if they were neighbors or whatnot, but where they were talking, I was hoping that that for rent sign was for one of those units because that looked a little cheaper. It was not. It was for the more expensive place. Oh, that's cool. I don't know if the camera's picking it up at all, but it looks like that whole big area there is like an outdoor, but fenced in. Oh, there's another for rent sign. Let's check this out. Like garden area. Yeah, because that's a big house. We stand with Ukraine, so this. Oh, that's a for sale sign, not a for rent sign. $39.25. The irony is, I used to live at an address called 3939. So let's see, 3937, 3945. Huh. So, yeah. Cool. Nice, cute little area here. Like I said, I would gladly, if there was a place for rent, I would gladly consider it, assuming, of course, the cost. Because that's what I was saying at the beginning of this video, was I looked at a tiny little house. I didn't like go in and look at it. I called the guy about it. It was 800 square feet, no garage, had a yard. An interesting building. It had a yard, and the guy wanted like $2,200 a month for it. The tree in the property had been cut down, so that's an historic building. Railroad overall laundry. So probably back when this was all railroad housing. Maybe it's company laundry, I don't know. But yeah, we came down this street. I remember these houses. Yeah, so let's just go south. See what happens. But yeah, worst case scenario, I actually find a place to rent. Because I'm kind of liking this area. I mean, you got your like older rundown houses here, probably been in the family for generations and they don't want to sell it. But then you got the newer stuff where somebody came in and bought those buildings and converted it to new housing. I'm trying to remember what this area of Denver is called. This isn't Montbello. Tramway Nonprofit Center, don't know what that means. That house is for sale, it's probably too much. Because yeah, this is the kind of place where people come in and they buy these old houses that were built in the 50s and 60s. They knock them down and they build new houses with modern amenities. And you've probably already noticed some of those. You got some older houses, you know, got some wear and tear on them. But then right next door, you got a, you know, looks like a modern whatever. And people going faster than me because I'm only doing 10 miles an hour. Suzette's Salon. Cool. And looks like apartments upstairs from Suzette's Salon. Unless that's the, nope, those are apartments. I was going to say, unless those are, because there is a hostel in North Denver somewhere, and I've been to it once. I had a friend, she came to Denver, she stayed at the hostel. I went and met her. She's like, yeah, I'll be there. Yeah, I'm so annoyed. She goes, yeah, I'll be there at 3. All right, cool. So not, you know, I get in at 3 and I'll be ready to hang out at 5, but I get there at 3. So I showed up at 3. Ooh, that car had a parking ticket on it. And so I show up at 3. Well, she didn't get there at 3. She got there at like 3:45. And then she tells me, oh, well, I'm tired. I need time to relax and recover. And I was like, okay. Well, when you told me you got here at 3, I assume that's what you meant. That's when you wanted to hang out. You know, you wanted to, because I'm a local. And when people come to Denver, I love taking them and showing them around, giving them a tour. I love to do that when I travel. Find a local to show you around. So, oh, what's up, puppy? I'm in pedal assist 1. I just bumped it up to 2 because I am not moving as fast as I would like. Yeah, see, look at these houses. These look like somebody bought them, liked the, you know, early 20th century appeal, but decided to update them. Oh, that place is for rent, I think. Let's go take a look. This looks like one of those places you rent and you find out it's haunted, which would be fine. I don't believe in ghosts. Willow Apartments. Actually, I'm gonna take a quick picture of that. Because this is not the area of Denver that I want to live in. But it is an area, like I said, it's a little noisier here, a little bit more traffic being on the main strip. But it's still a nice area. You know, bicycle distance from downtown Denver. See the houses here? Well, you probably can't, but I can. And then there's like a modern, I won't say modern, that was probably late 2000s. Oh, that building's for sale. That's cool. I'm not against buying a building if I have the money. And ask me if I have the money. The answer's no. But, but yeah, this kind of neighborhood is really nice. But you're getting a lot more people buying up these houses and converting them into, you know, modern things. And I say it like that. I think this person's converting this trailer into a place. That's the same place. Okay, yeah, this trailer right here. It looks like a camper conversion. I would know because I kind of did a little bit of that myself to a trailer. The difference is, oh, see, this little park in the corner that's not a through street though, which is also cool. Yeah, we're just driving around. I have no plan here. A lot of times I plan on like, oh, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to turn around and come back and blah, blah, blah. Oh, see, look at that. A downstairs and an upstairs. Oh, it's 2 units. Okay. Downstairs and an upstairs porch with a wrought iron gate around it. Oops. Hi, puppy. Yep. Let's see. And the problem is, being in the city like this, even some of these like really small places are probably super expensive. Sorry, that was funny. There was a sign that said no dumping, and it looked like somebody had just dumped a bunch of garbage over there. So I was trying to see if this was like a, not a rental place, but like a secondhand type shop. See, like these houses off to the left here, oh, they're duplexes. 1901. So yeah, that building's 125 years old. 124. You know what I meant. More duplexes. And then you got this building up here on the right that's got a lot of color to it. And again, I mean, look at the neighborhood. It's very quiet. I mean, there's road traffic, there's an airplane overhead, but it comes across as very quiet. And I like this. I think I've said it before in some of my videos, is I know a lot of people like the cookie cutter suburban area. I'm not that guy. I like this kind of neighborhood where, you know, it's a little bit more worked in and it's got some character and stuff. That truck right there on the left, that red one, that's the kind that I went and test drove the other day, or yesterday. Hi, puppies. And it's good price too. I was trying to figure out, like, I could afford it, but it would mean that I wouldn't be able to go on like random buying splurges. It would literally be at my current. Sorry, let's go this way. At my current income. For sale, so those are obviously condos of some sort. Denver motor vehicle. But you see, like, this is a perfect example. You got the old building here and the new building right next to it. So people will buy some of these kinds of houses and they'll put a modern building next to it. And it can be an eyesore if you like the aesthetic of your neighborhood. I know back in the early 2000s, there was a big pushback in some of these historic old neighborhoods because people are buying up lots, scraping the houses like down to the foundation or more, and building. You know what? Let's just go south here. I don't like waiting at lights. People were buying up some of these older houses like this, and then they were scraping them and then building new modern houses. And the people who like the aesthetic of the older neighborhoods like this were getting mad, and they tried to have the rules changed to where people couldn't do that, but oops, it's okay. Where people weren't allowed to do that. You know, if you bought a house, you were not allowed to scrape it, blah, blah, blah. But then, you know, the city of Denver, you know, the city council and the coding enforcement people, you know, cowardly as they are, capitulated to the people with money as opposed to the people who already lived there. But they did meet them at least partially. I won't say halfway, but they did pass a thing that said, you know, if somebody's going to buy a house and they are going to do that to the property that they purchased, then they have to keep the aesthetic of the neighborhood in mind when they build a new house. Now, how and if they actually enforce that, I have no idea. Maybe it has to go through the planning commission or the planning, that department of the city government that approves building permits and stuff. I can't think of the name off the top of my head because I've never built anything, and it's been a long time since I did any kind of construction or remodeling that needed said permission. Whoa, there was a squirrel or something in this bush, and it decided it had to go. So I'm gonna go. Oops. Got that mansion across the street there, and these little fourplex. I know, I'm still mad. Way back in the mid 90s when I had an income, a steady income, I tried to buy a fourplex, and I let my mom talk me out of it, and I still regret that to this day because I wanted to get into property because it's, you know, it's just guaranteed money. But she talked me out of it, and I still regret that decision. Okay. Whew. Excuse me. So, yeah. Let me see. Kappa Tower. So that's some kind of living facility. Oops. Excuse me. Yeah, I really don't know where I'm at. I don't even know what street this is. I mean, that's 21st, which if you go west will take you straight into down. Oh, I know where I'm at. Okay. There's a hospital system over here. I used to work a few blocks from here. I'm gonna go because the light says I can. Nice little park over here, you know, place for the people that work in these hospitals to get out and enjoy nature when they're not inside being sterilized. Yeah, so I kind of vaguely, because I used to work at Pearl Street's around here somewhere. I'm not 100% sure. This is Downing. I'm on Downing. And I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I think Pearl Street's to the east of here. But I used to work at Pearl and 19th, which we're on 19th. And it was definitely to the east of here. So I'm assuming that is still the case. And you need to stop because I have the little guy that says it's safe to go. I did have a friend that lived over here, though, long time ago. He used to live in Capitol Hill, and he paid like $450 a month for, you know, studio. Oh wow, Popo.
This is why it's illegal to ride on the sidewalk with a bicycle.
I'm sorry?
So that's why it's illegal to ride a bike on the sidewalk.
Oh, I did not know that. I'm new to the area. Thank you.
Have a good day.
Yep. I did not know that. I am new to the area. Okay, so if you didn't hear him, he said it's illegal to ride a bicycle on the sidewalk. So we need to find. But yeah, I had a friend that lived over in this area. He used to live in Capitol Hill. He used to make decent, or like a little 300 square foot apartment he paid $400 a month for. But he made like $100,000 a year, so he didn't care. He was an alcoholic. He was always going out and trying to, or always like 5, 6, 7 nights a week out drinking until he blacked out. He ended up marrying an alcoholic when he lived over here somewhere, or maybe they started dating before he lived over here. So he, so yeah, here's Park. Oopsie. So I'm looking for those little road, the bike lane road things, and I don't know where they are around here. And okay. So, but yeah, how many times have you heard me say on video that I'm not sure what the rules are here? Blah, blah, blah. Affordable housing, leasing, senior living. Oh, okay, senior living. I am not a senior. So, and yeah, just all I did was go around the block. But yeah, and then he moved into a place over here somewhere. I went to his housewarming, blah blah blah, with his then girlfriend. I mean, heck, for all I remember, it could have been that building. I don't know, but it was over here somewhere. And then he got married, and he married the alcoholic woman, and he stopped kind of hanging out with anybody, which, happens sometimes when people get married. The thing is, a lot of times people get married and they don't hang out with their other friends because their new spouse considers their friends bad influences, which can indeed happen. But we were not the bad influences on him. Like, I remember trying to take his keys numerous times because he was so drunk. I was afraid of him driving. And I remember telling him numerous times, hey, it's, you should, you don't really need that other drink. Because he was a tiny dude, like 5'6", maybe 5'7", and probably 125, 130 pounds. Tiny dude, and he drank 2 or 3 times as much as I did. And, I had 4 or 5 inches on him and probably, 100 pounds. So, but it also could have been that building. I don't know. It's been a while. These places are probably super expensive. They probably got a lot of nurses and medical people that, because of the hospitals, that live in these places, and they usually make good money. So these places are probably super expensive. For sale. Square building. Dun, 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 dun. Because I am, like I said, vaguely familiar with this area. Let's see. Cafe Miriam. Okay, so yeah, I actually do like this area a little bit. Because it's got like the outdoor cafes and stuff, just like that. It's got this, the walkability. Here's some restaurants. Here's another little restaurant, Curry and Grill. I'm not a big fan of Indian food. I've tried it a few times. I just do not like it. Yeah, I like this area. I remember coming down here when I worked in this general vicinity, and I'd come down here for lunch every once in a while. That guy's trying very hard to park there, and all he needs to do is turn his wheel. That's the other thing. Like, if I were to go by that big truck that I test drove yesterday, look at that building. That building's cool. The one on the left. If I were to go by that truck, there's no way in hell I'd be able to live down here. The truck would just be way too big for parking, for getting around these streets easily, etc. Now in suburbs, not a problem. Down here, problem. I'm gonna filter up to the front here. And these are condos. Oops. So I'm at 9.5 miles, so that's barely halfway what I wanted to do. And I got plenty of battery. Where am I at on time? 11:40. Well, yeah, like these kind of places, I don't know if I would gladly live in them. They look a little like nobody's upkept them. Like that building back there had, the window frames were wood. Not against wooden window frames, but when wooden window frames eventually deteriorate, they warp, etc. And that becomes a problem for, sealing them. Which means either A, nobody has maintained the building, installed new windows in the last 30 years, or B, it's a historic building, and that historic building is not allowed to be upgraded. Because I think I talked about that on one of my other videos, where I knew somebody who lived in like a neighborhood like this, who a building like that, and she rented the attic apartment. And I only met her once. She was dating a friend of mine. I dated she had the attic apartment, and she talked about how drafty it was and how hard it was to keep it cool or warm in the wintertime. And I said, really? I said, have you talked to anybody? Have you made a complaint? Have you tried to get new windows? And she said, oh, well, it's a historic building. They're not allowed to change the windows. And I was like, what? I mean, I can understand in keeping the integrity of the building, but to say you can't upgrade or fix anything, that does nobody any good. So yeah, we're in the old school, rich area, like early 20th century rich area. So you got all these old mansions and stuff, and then you got these new apartment complexes. Denver Turnvein. Organized in 1865, so after the Civil War, when people moved out here, somebody put that building there. And that's what I mean, that building would probably not be allowed to be updated. So, but you can tell, I mean, well, maybe you can't tell very well, but I can tell because I can swivel my head. There are a lot of people out walking. There are a lot of people walking their dogs out for jogs. There's a lot of bicyclists out. And while you do see the occasional homeless person, it is not so dangerous of an area that you cannot live. And again, like I said before, I have no problem with homeless people. I actually feel bad because I had some food in my place that I put it in a bag specifically to bring it with me down here so that I could, somebody set off a fire alarm? Maybe? All the residents were standing around outside, so that's usually a fire alarm. Because if it was just an ambulance, nobody would care. Let's see, I can still go. Yeah, and you got these old historic apartment complexes right here. Grosvenor Arms Apartments. I had the opportunity to move down to like this area a few years ago, and it would have been really cheap too. But I chose not to because it was an older building like that, and it did not have a parking situation. I would have had to have parked in a lot like this, daily, paid to park daily, or hope you got lucky with street side parking. And I have two vehicles. I have my truck and my motorcycle. So I was like, yeah, I can't do it. I don't need guaranteed parking. I don't need garage parking. I don't need up against my house parking. But I do need to know that, I can park without it being unsafe, without having to walk 4 miles to see my vehicle, much less, drive and, get groceries out or anything. So, but, Denver's a large enough city, if you can't tell, that, there's a lot of people who don't need to own, if they live downtown here, they don't need to own cars. So that happens. So a friend of mine used to live in Civic Center Plaza, or not live in, she used to work in Civic Center Plaza before she met some dude and moved out of state. Yeah, that literally happened. She had a law degree. She was a practicing attorney. And she she met a guy who was in town. He was a polo player. And she met him, and he lived in Wichita, Kansas. So she, within a couple of months after meeting him, she packed up her shit and moved to Wichita. Now, she's done very well for herself in Wichita, don't get me wrong. She used to be in charge of the legal department for a very famous athletics company. And then she went to work she met a guy who was an engineer she went to work at his company, and it's an aerospace company, and she works in their legal department, last I heard. So she's done very well for herself. I'm not going to lie, Denver is a difficult place to survive. So I'm going to follow these guys because I was under the impression that we were not allowed to ride on the mall. Pedestrians and authorized vehicles only. Walk your bike. It said something about Saturday and Sunday, so maybe you don't have to walk your bike on the weekends. Smoker-free zone. This is all new. I'm just kind of following these guys because I don't know what the rules are. She's trying to get a picture of the tree. Let's not get hit by any cars here. Let's see, what's this say? No bikes. Ride in bus lane Saturday and Sunday. So this is the bus lane, and today is Saturday. We can do that. So yeah, there's Top Golf here, really? All right. Yeah, I don't come. It just got too expensive to come down and try to enjoy downtown anymore. For example, I think I've mentioned before that. Oh yeah, so here's Earl's, which is a nice place. Got the movie theater and stuff. This restaurant on the corner has been a number of different things since I've lived here. Paramount Cafe, or used to be Paramount Cafe. The Paramount Theater was right next door. I've seen some shows there, comedy and music. Now it's a Three Margaritas. It used to be Paramount Cafe. There's a Coyote Ugly up this stairs over here. Lucky Strike Lanes. Apparently there's a bowling alley I've never been to. Appaloosa Grill, I have been there. But there's a lot of places down here where, you go in, I think I mentioned before, you go in and you spend, for a single drink is like $12 for I think I've ordered a Jim Beam and Coke. It was like $12, where if you go anywhere outside of downtown and you order a Jim Beam and Coke, you might spend, $7 or $8. I've been to this deep dish pizza place, but it's been a while, like a year at least. And then some of these buildings you can live in. I'm not sure which ones. Oh, I can go. So cool. I'm glad. Oh, there's a protest going on. I did not know about it. Looks like they're finishing up though. I would have ridden over there and gone to the protest. But then you get into your chain places, and those prices are usually fairly well controlled. So, you know, if you pay $10 for a sandwich down south, you're going to pay $10 for a sandwich here. Maybe 12, but it's going to be close. There's a Planet Fitness here, which is cool because a lot of people do live downtown. Like I said, a lot of these are apartments once you get above the second and third floors. I'm not seeing the protest anymore, so I might have just seen the tail end of it, which sucks because depending on which protest it was, I might have gone. The Denver Way, Noodle Bars, Casa Tequila, I've been there. Again, not cheap, but good. Not cheap. And I need a combination of both cheap and good. Rock Bottom Brewery, that's where I went and got an overpriced bourbon and Coke. Because $12 for a single drink, and then you got to leave a tip. It's like, so now it's like $14, $15 for a single drink. Like, this ain't New York. Are you kidding me? Yeah. I'm not begrudging anybody who needs to make money, you know. Everybody has a right to. But I think a lot of downtown restaurants are counting on the fact that you're using a company card or you're here on a business trip, because a lot of conventions and stuff come here, and then you can either write off the expense, or you're using a company card, so you know nobody cares how expensive it is because the company's paying for it. Because they're, let's see, I don't know if it's still there. No, it's not. There was what was the name of that company? It was a startup a few years ago, and it got very famous very quick. They did HR software, like cloud-based HR software. I met one of the founders once, and they're like, yeah, come on by, come check out our facilities, blah, blah, blah. I even have socks from there. Like, I went there to check out their facilities, and they handed me socks. Like, yeah, here you go, take some socks. With their company logo on them. But you can see, like, people are hanging out downtown. There's lots of public art. It's a very famous area of downtown Denver. Like a lot of people that come down for shows, for concerts, for looks like a nice place, looks like an expensive place. For conventions or whatnot. You know, they stay in a hotel here and then they walk up and down the mall and they eat and drink and stuff, so. Oscar Blues over there. That's a brewery based out of Lyons, Colorado. But they've opened a couple more breweries since then. I'm not a huge fan of their beers. And I say that having lived in Germany. I became a beer snob. I mean, there's no other way to say it. And so I'm very picky. Danner, they make some good boots. Looks like something was going on behind this building, but I don't know what. But yeah, and we've been here before. Oops.
Ew, she's 16!
Kids. Apparently they said something that one of these guys on the bikes in front of me. I wasn't listening because I was thinking about and talking. And then the guy said, yeah, you want to come? Or she said something like nice bike or something, like sarcastically. And he said something like, yeah, you want to come see my apartment? And then her friend was like, she's 16, gross. And then the dude in the hat right there, that dude, he said something about then shut your mouth or something. So, I'm gonna go north here. So I don't want to go across the bridge. That was a pain in the butt. It's Still upset that place is closed. So we may circle back a couple blocks, because that's Coors Field straight ahead. And I remember having a problem getting past Coors Field last time, so we may circle back a couple of blocks. Oh, sorry. Yeah, so instead of trying to go around the left side, we'll go around the right side. And this van right in front of me with the different colored doors looks like a van lifer. There's certain things that once you know what to look for, they're easy to spot. I mean, because I even considered that. I think I mentioned earlier that I had considered buying a bus and converting it, but I didn't have anywhere to park a bus for weeks at a time or months at a time. And then I considered buying a van and just doing that, just, traveling, parking. Venture X, that's the name of the company I was thinking about. I met the owner before COVID, and then COVID hit, and I totally forgot about it. And then I was wondering if they were even still in business, because they were in the same business as like WeWork and Office Evolutions and stuff. And then those places had a really hard time during COVID because people were working from home if they were working at all. So it became an issue. I know WeWork, I don't know if they went out of business, but you don't see their names on buildings anymore. But at one point they were considered like the largest real estate company in the world. And if they had declared bankruptcy, it would have upset the real estate market globally. So that kind of situation. No, we're gonna go. And we're gonna go south. I don't see anything that says I can't do this. Especially since that cop told me I can't ride on sidewalks. Whoa! Almost got hit by that pigeon. So, yeah, I've been through here before because I saw a dude sleeping right here once. Oops. I went the wrong way on that. And then, if I'm not mistaken, I need to go straight because I got turned around in this little neighborhood. But at least here there's a sidewalk and hopefully Popo no bother me. Pardon me. Oh shoot, I forgot to do that. I had to fill out some paperwork by EOD today, or EOB, however you want to do it. And I had planned on doing it before I came on this bike ride, and I totally spaced it, and so now I'm gonna have to do it. Okay, yeah, so I know exactly where I'm at now. It doesn't look like I'm gonna get 20 miles in today, but I still got a pretty good ride in. Got to see parts of Denver we don't normally get to see. I'd like to go through that North Denver area again on a weekday just to see how loud it is. But yeah. Oops. Excuse me. Flour Mill Lofts, okay. I keep forgetting there's no sidewalk that goes from there to here. Because I don't like tearing up the grass. Denver has so little grass to begin with, especially public grass. And there's another little, the other thing starts this evening. So that one, okay, so I can go to the motorcycle thing at 3, kind of hang out, chill, be around bikes, maybe even looked at a used bike or two. And then there's an art show thing later. I think it starts at like 6. But Denver has all these bike paths like this, or paths like this. That's why it kind of shocked me when they're like, you can't ride on sidewalks. I'm like, well, this is technically a sidewalk. So does this mean like everybody who's riding on this is breaking the rules or breaking the law? I do not know green eggs and ham. I have no idea, Sam I am. Technically, there's a sign that says nobody's allowed over here, but we're gonna do it anyway. Because there's a lot of footsteps and bike stuff and whatnot. Yeah, homeless dude. Looks like something used to be here. I don't know what. But yeah, just getting off-road for a second. Because I used to be an avid mountain biker. Back before I got fat. Well, back before I bought a motorcycle. So, which the motorcycling did not make me fat. It just did not help me stay trim. Living with a good cook helped me get fat. Yeah. Because she was an excellent cook. And she liked to cook late. So she wouldn't even start cooking until like 7 or 7:30. And then, dinner would be ready by 8:30 or 9. And there's a lot of times I'm like, I don't like to eat this late. But then I'd do it anyway. Because it smelled so good. And it's like, oh yeah, I'll just have a little bit just to kind of taste it, give feedback to the chef. But then it was usually so good, I'd go ahead and refill my plate and get like a whole serving. And that was my downfall. And I talked to her numerous times about cooking so late and stuff. I'm like, yeah, because there was a couple times I'm like, yeah, I don't want to eat this late. I don't want to eat this late, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, well, I like to eat this late. I like to eat before I go to bed. And I'm like, well, that's fine. You can do that, but that doesn't mean I like it. Which means that I may not eat what you cook until I heat up leftovers tomorrow. And she's like, well, I sleep better with a full stomach. And I'm like, well, I don't. Which is true. I don't. To this day, I still don't. I had lasagna at my friend's house the other night. Thursday. I went out to their house. The wife made lasagna. And, they're like, yeah, if you're hungry. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll have a bite. Because they always ask. And I almost always say no because I don't like to eat late. And they like to eat at like 7 o'clock. So I had a little piece of lasagna. And sure enough, Thursday night, I slept like crap. I was up all night multiple times. Never fell into like one of those deep sleeps that we all enjoy. Kind of like if you've ever taken like an afternoon nap on the couch, but you never really fall asleep. It's more like a trance state where you're aware of everything going on around you. Like you can still, like you just think you're awake, but you're laying really still, hoping you fall asleep. Like one of those situations. That's how it was when I eat. That's how it is when I eat late. Like I'm still like my body can't shut down and rest. So I don't like to eat late. Especially something heavy like lasagna. Are you kidding me? That's all carbs. Like I'll occasionally like have a piece of fruit or vegetables or something late. But dang, all the carbs? All like lasagna? And while my friend is, she I think her husband cooks better than she does. And I'm friends with both of them, don't get me wrong. But when he cooks, it's usually pretty good. She cooks like I cook. Like, she knows how to, you know, but it's not like her love. It's not something she enjoys doing. She does it because you have to cook to eat in order to survive. So, yeah. Whew. So, but she does use, my point was, she does use a lot of all natural organic ingredients. That's her big thing, is everything has to be organic, everything has to be natural. No artificials, flavors, or preservatives. But she's also the person who won't take her kids to the doctor when they're sick. She'll give them essential oils. Or place a crystal by their bed or something. So I keep running into swarms of bugs. And as much as I don't look forward to winter, I am looking forward to the bugs not being here. But yeah, so she, their youngest son, that's another story. But their youngest son got sick last summer. And he, was sick for months. They thought maybe it was long COVID. They thought maybe he had had food poisoning that just never went away. And food poisoning doesn't last that long. They thought, because he had gone on vacation with some of his college friends, and they went swimming in a lake in Indiana. And, she thought maybe he got sick from the lake in Indiana, toxic chemicals or bacteria or something. Those kind of things, which are all feasible. Absolutely. But after, a month, after 2 months, after 90 days, he was still sick. He lost like 30 pounds because he just couldn't keep any food in. It was coming out one way or another. And then she started talking about how she found out that he went and got the HPV vaccine. And she was totally against that because she didn't want any of her kids to have modern medicine. But I'm assuming, I didn't talk to him because this is the one of their kids that I do not like the most. I don't know their older son that well. He was already in college when I met them, so I've met him a couple times. This guy is kind of an entitled jackass. He is definitely one of those. You're going to see him on the news one day. And then the daughter, she's 18, and I've known her since she was 13, and she and I get along great. I tease the hell out of her. She teases me back. It's fun. Once she realized, the first few times I met her, she got really upset. But then when she realized it's just teasing, it's just banter, it's just, goofing around, now she gets excited and she gives it right back, and it's great. Oops. Excuse me. I looked over my shoulder. I think that was the girl that has all the tattoos on her face. At least she's still alive. But, this particular son, he went and got the HPV, and I'm fairly certain he got it because he was trying to date a girl, or at least, have a friends with benefits situation or something, and she said, "Are you vaccinated?" And he said, "No." And she said, "Yeah, we're never going to happen unless you're vaccinated." So he probably went and got vaccinated. And the mom, my friend, she threw a fit. And I'm like, "No, I got all the vaccines. Nope, put more shit in my body. I'm fine with it." But yeah, she didn't like that. And even when she goes out of the town without her husband, he calls me up and he's like, "Oh yeah," he goes, I bought some frozen meatloaf or frozen lasagna or something. I'm gonna cook it tonight. You want to come over? He goes, "Because I don't get to eat like this when my wife's here." And I'm like, I'm all about eating as naturally as you can, but sometimes you don't have to turn away a hamburger because the cheese was processed. You know what I mean? But that's how my friend is. And, you know, to each their own. You know, if that's how she wants to live, if that's how she raised her family, that's fine. But I know, I don't know what her you know, because their daughter's 18, but she's in her last semester of high school right now. So she hasn't left the house yet, but yeah, her other 2 kids, you know, they're out of college, they have jobs, and they're doing their thing. So how they're eating, I have no idea. You know, are they following mom's teachings, or are they just like, you know, hey, I got money now, I'm going to eat McDonald's and Burger King for the next few months? Sorry, that woman standing outside the 7-Eleven there by the front lives in my building. I was trying to wave at her. She's one of those with a mental health issue. Now, I don't know if she was always extremely slow, or if she was in an accident, because sometimes people get brain damage, like actual brain damage, and, you know, they end up slow. I don't know what the situation is with her, but I usually, you know, I say hi to the people in my building, even if I don't want to talk to them, just because, you know, I do live with them, and I want them to know that, you know, I am not a threat of any way, shape, or form. Because even yesterday, I was hanging out in the well, I wasn't hanging out, but I was in the lobby talking to somebody who I met, you know, a while ago, but we're not like super friends or anything. She's a Marine veteran, but you know, she usually hangs out in the smoking area. I don't smoke. She has offered me weed, but again, I don't smoke. Like, she's like, hey, do you want to toke on this joint? And I'm like, I don't smoke. So we have, you know, had conversations and stuff, and she's very nice, very sweet girl. But I was chatting with her yesterday, and somebody said something about, you know, all the drugs in the building, and I'm like, yeah, I keep hearing that, but nobody ever offers me drugs. I've never had anybody say, hey, do you want to buy anything? I've never had anybody say, you know, you can have all the drugs you want, or, you know, nothing. You know, here's a free sample, nothing. And she looked at me straight in the eyes, and, you know, we're around a couple of people, and she goes, that's because you look like a cop. And I'm like, yeah, I've heard that. I'm like, I know. And I get it. I do. Especially right now, my hair is cut really short. I shaved it September 1st, so it's got 20 days of growth on it. You know, so I'm letting it grow out for the winter right now. So it'll be longer here shortly. But I still keep it pretty short. I don't like having to brush my hair or, you know, do a lot of stuff. Oops, sorry. For some reason, I had in my head you were going that way. My apologies, dude. I didn't mean to cut him off. Turns out he wanted to turn left when I thought he was turning right, and I was going straight. So, but yeah, yeah, and I have, you know, broad shoulders, even when I'm not working out almost every day, like now. I still have broad shoulders. Like when I wear a suit, when I have to buy a suit to wear it, I have to buy like a 52-inch chest. That is how big I am, which is, you know, larger than a lot of people. I get it. I have that cop aesthetic. I had a guy the other day. I went and got a massage, and he was a veteran himself. The massage therapist was a veteran himself, and he's like, oh, and I was like, yeah, you know, veteran, blah blah blah, and he goes, oh, yeah, we get a lot of Marines in here, and I was like, I'm not a Marine, and he goes, oh, well, what were you then? And I was like, Army, and he goes, really? Well, you know, we get a lot of grunts in here too, and I'm like, yeah, I wasn't a grunt, but apparently I have that look. So, yeah, he's like, what'd you do? And I said, I did signal. Now, I did forward tactical signal, but it was still signal. And I typically worked in a skiff, but it was still, you know, signal. You know, I don't know what this truck's doing. Oh, he's trying to turn. So I'm going to go straight so he can turn. There we go. And we're gonna go up here to get away from the road. All right, so we are at a point where I am going to go ahead and turn this off. Thank you for coming along on this trip. I feel like this part of a story that I didn't finish. Is that the one about the house? Well, I called. The house was small. He wanted too much money, and I wasn't going to pay $2,200 a month for yard work and stuff like that. Especially when I can get a larger apartment for $1,000 less a month. And I'm still trying to decide on that truck. I'll go to this motorcycle thing later, because I mean, honestly, I'd rather have a second motorcycle than a new truck. Damn, all these trucks getting in my way all of a sudden. But I'm gonna go ahead and let you go. Thanks for coming along. I hope you enjoyed your tour of North Denver today. And we will try and do this again tomorrow.